Welcome back. Today I'm going to be reviewing What Separates Me From You by A Day to Remember.
Which, if you clicked on this video, you probably already know that.
What Separates Me From You is the fourth album by A Day to Remember that I've listened to. The first album I listened to by them was Common Courtesy, then shortly after I listened to Homesick, then For Those Who Have Heart, and now this, just a few months ago. As for my favorite out of all of them, I go back and forth a lot, but Homesick might be the best, but I'm starting to think that Common Courtesy is a better album. Just as a little side note though, they always have really consistently good album art. Like for this one there's the guy who's trapped in the hourglass, which doesn't make so much sense through the music, but it's just a really good album cover. And it kinda gives off that whole powerful vibe that the entire album just exudes. Also, when you open up the CD case, the CD is a sewer cover or something? What is that called? The CD looks like a sewer cover, and then when you pull off the CD, oh, look, there they are. Okay, now before I begin, this time around when I'm going through each song, I'll have an annotation in the top right corner so that you can listen to the song if you want before I give my opinion on it. If you're watching this on mobile, then you can check the description and I'll have the whole album as a link. Okay, so let's get right into it. The first song is Sticks and Bricks, and it starts out super hard. If you're not into hardcore music, then you might be instantly turned off, and you might just want to turn it off right away, but wait until like 45 seconds in, and it transitions like seamlessly into pop punk in like a matter of seconds. This is a common occurrence in A Day to Remember songs. It blends a lot of different genres at once, and it does it very neatly. There are times, of course, where it sounds kind of hackneyed, but not here. Other than that, there's not much to say for this song for me. The lyrics are kind of lacking in this one, but other than that, it's a really good song. The second song is the first single on this album, which is All I Want. This one from the beginning has been one of my favorites, but it's slowly losing its luster. It's a lot more pop punk than the previous song. Some of the lyrics give a good positive message about like keeping your hopes up high and your head down low. And also, just as a side note, I like the line, "My head's above the water while they drown in the undertow." The third song, It's Complicated, was the third single. Again, it's very pop punk. I like the chord progression in this one, especially with the guitar. It goes from being very tight sounding to very loose in the verses. There's an obvious contrast there. The short guitar solo in there is really simple, but it sounds awesome. Then after that, there's a moment where he mumbles a line or two, and then suddenly it kicks back into the chorus. The next song is This Is the House That Doubt Built. The title really makes no sense to the rest of the song, which is kind of a common trend for A Day to Remember songs. But to be honest, it's kind of a funny play on words, so I still like the title. The opening line of this song is really good. Don't get me started on what it means to be alive, because it sounds like he's like about to go on a rant, which he kind of does. The whole song is like one big preach session, I guess, which works if you're not annoyed by that sort of thing, but you could get annoyed if you don't want him preaching to you. This is probably my favorite one on the album. Now, after this kind of heartfelt song comes Second Sucks, which is almost the opposite. This song is by far the hardest song on the album. I love the Mortal Kombat fight that starts the song. The lyrics are kind of directed at, like, haters of the band. Overall for me, though, the whole song sounds, like, really badass until about the end when it starts to sound kind of disingenuous with the lyrics. It almost sounds like he's trying too hard. If you can get past that, though, this is one of the best songs. The next song is Better Off This Way. I like the chord progression in this one. Like a lot of the other songs, this song kicks off with like a really hard guitar lick that like instantly pushes you into the atmosphere that they want you to be in. Other than the opening line, which is, I wonder if you'd notice if they locked me up and threw away the key, these are some of the more bland lyrics on the album. It just feels really general and kinda disingenuous like the last one. The next song is their second single from this album, All Signs Point to Lauderdale. This one starts with a toned down version of the chorus, and then after a 4 count, it like kicks into a really hard guitar that like immediately interests you. Or me at least, I guess. Going back to the very beginning of the song, it makes me wish he sang more songs in that tone. He does a similar thing with his voice in End of Me from Common Courtesy. Not much else to say here, except, again, the lyrics are getting kinda hackneyed. The next song is You Be Tails, I'll Be Sonic. Aside from this being hands down the best song title on the album, this one is really solid. The guitar is nearly perfect. It sounds really clean and everything just fits right into place. The only kind of weak part is the bridge, but thankfully it doesn't last long, and it leads into the final epic-sounding chorus with these, like, harmonized vocals that are backing it up. The next song is Out of Time. This one's good, but not great. The verses aren't really too good on this one, but the chorus is. Aside from that, I love the way that he yells, "Oh God, I think I just ruined my life." It sounds really genuine and convincing, like he actually just realized. In addition to that line, he really just nails the vocals on this one. He sounds genuinely distressed, which in retrospect is kind of the mood that's needed in order to make this a really good song. And the last song is If I Leave. This one's a good album ender, but it's overall one of the weaker ones. The lyrics get pretty, like, angsty teen, which always annoys me a bit, but it's okay because the rest of the song's lyrics aren't really like that. The most cringy line definitely is, "It's been a long time coming, but everyone's gonna hear me now." Okay, and now for a few words about the album overall. As for the cohesion, I mean, it's okay. It's in this weird state for me where it flows well as an album, but I usually put it on shuffle anyway. I normally listen to albums all the way through every time, but they're all pretty standalone songs here. As for which side of the album is better though, the B side is definitely the more memorable and just overall better tracks. As for this album compared to the rest of their albums, this is definitely the most hard-sounding album that I've heard at least. I can't say anything about Treason, which I will review at some point. It's hard for me to figure out where it ranks among them because it has a more mature sound, but at the same time, it's sometimes lacking in a lot of other areas, like especially the lyrics here. If you like ADTR or any pop-punk, punk, or hardcore, then you'll like at least some of these songs. Just look them up on YouTube, and you'll be sure to like at least a couple of them. Should I say anything else? Angsty teen.